Sande Charles with FanRag Sports, joined by Nick Bahe of FS1, and we are going to preview tonight's Creighton versus ASU game. And right now we're going to talk a little 11-0 Bluejays. And like I said, 11-0, Nick, hot start. What has this team playing at such a high level?
I think it's the point guard, Maurice Watson Jr. He leads the nation in assists, so his ability to get out in the open floor and get guys easy shots has just made offense come really easy for Creighton. So whenever those guys are running the floor, they don't have to think about hunting shots. He's spoon-feeding the baskets. They do have weapons, but when you got a guy that's averaging 9 assists a game, everybody's in a rhythm, everybody's in a flow. So I think it starts at the point guard spot that's really propelled Creighton so far early.
Now, last game against Oral Roberts, they squeaked by, 1-point lead game. They won it. It wasn't their best game, but it was finals week. Now tonight, they're traveling. They're traveling west. How are the guys feeling?
Well, I know the coaches are nervous. I'm not sure how the guys are necessarily feeling. The coaches get nervous when you got finals week, and then a lot of the guys are going to go home for Christmas. So you hope they're not already thinking about what's in their stockings and what they asked Santa for Christmas. So I want everybody to stay locked in for one final game. But I think the guys at practice yesterday, they were locked in and focused. There is something. It's nice when you can learn a lesson in a victory, which they did the other night. So I think it's always good when you can find a way to win when you don't play well, which is what happened the other night. It was 65-60 with about 5 minutes left, and the game ended 66-65. So they, held Oral Roberts scoreless for the final 5 minutes. So I think they're feeling okay. Be interesting test though tonight.
Now, you did talk on this and touch about it at 206 assists. This team moves the ball. They're always moving the ball, always moving their feet. 206 assists in 11 games. What does ASU need to do to shut them down?
Well, see, that's what makes this game interesting, is because Arizona State likes to play fast, and I think the way to stop Creighton is to slow them down. So I'll just be curious how much Arizona State wants to run, because I think slowing down the tempo is probably the most important thing when you play Creighton. One thing Arizona State could do is crash the offensive glass, because when you're getting offensive rebounds, Creighton's not going to be thinking about leaking out and running, because they got to stay and block out, they got to stay and hit their guys. So I think Arizona State's ability to probably steal some second chance points could be important, but it'll be fun to watch the kind of chess match on how much ASU wants to run, because Creighton wants to get up and down the floor.
Now, this might be a trick question. Who is the one guy that we can really look to tonight for Creighton to just take them ahead? But this core is has so much depth, is so strong. Is there even one guy that we can look to tonight that ASU has got to stop?
Well, I gave you Maurice Watson, but I'm going to give you someone else. I'll give you Marcus Foster, a 6'4" wing. He's their leading scorer, and he's the guy that is the beneficiary of a lot of what Maurice Watson does passing the ball. So I would think if Arizona State can slow down Marcus Foster, that'll put them in a great position to win. But you hit on it. I mean, the beauty of Creighton is they have so many weapons where it's not where there's one-dimensional and you take away that guy, they can't score. Creighton's pretty balanced in that regard. But Marcus Foster is a guy that really has had some big games for Creighton. So if ASU can do a good job against Foster, that'll put them in a good spot to win.
Now, lastly, does Creighton have to avoid the dreaded trap game tonight?
I think so, a little bit. I mean, it's Christmas just around the corner. Conference play is just around the corner. But I think the beauty of the trap game scenario being prevalent here is you just had a game where you didn't play very well. Yeah. So I think if there ever was a wake-up call, that happened in the last game. It's almost so. I would have definitely thought this was a big-time trap game if they would have played really well against Oral Roberts and everything would be, everybody be feeling good. But the fact that they struggled against Oral Roberts, I think that's got their attention. So on paper, it could be a trap game, but I think the guys are locked in.
Awesome. Thank you so much. For Nick Bahe, I'm Sande Charles with FanRag Sports.